Now, my next question is slightly different because I would like to probably touch about your journey. You come from a very, humble background, priest and teaching background. Started your career as a cashier in one of the banks, and then rose to a level of being highly respected and renowned, CEO and president. Certainly, in this entire career journey of yours, right? You would have seen a lot of changes, a lot of things. So you should have selected a specific path from various options. What is the path that you selected, and what inspired you to take that path? I would also like to add one more question here for the benefit of our learning. In this entire journey, certainly there could have been instances where you would have, encountered with specific challenges. Could you please explain one such challenge and how did you maneuver through it with a brief example? Now, this can actually help us in understanding the thought process of a thought leader and how they approach in the past.
Very interesting question. You put me in a spot now with my 5 decades of experience, so many challenges I had in my life. But I'll start with two because I'm going to share with two incidents, because one in the childhood and one the later, because how this thought formation really helped me in the long process. So when I was 17 and a half, I graduated from college. So very young age. And then, when I was 18, I lost my father. So my father was my inspiration, and he was the only one in our family who had some business because he had a school. He set up a school of his own. Otherwise, I'm the seventh generation of priests, some teachers and all, but I don't do all those things. But, I'm from that kind of lineage. But now what happens when I lost my dad, of course, I got the job. I was in the job in Bank of India, was my first job. And then I was getting 247 rupees, 50 paisa. People in India audiences can relate to this, what I'm talking about. But in US terms, it's $3 a month. A lot of money in those days, okay? I wanted to retire when I get 50,000 rupees in my bank. I said I would retire. I'm not interested in working. This was my thought process at that time. So now when my father passed away, I said, no, I don't have an anchor. I don't have somebody to go back to, even to check and decide. And then I realized that my whole mission was in my mind. I studied because my brother told me, go and take up this job, because if you work now, maybe later on you can go and study for your master's or something like that. You'll be able to pay for yourself. So otherwise you will not don't waste your time. This is not your cup of tea. Come and learn something completely new. And this was a big story because I have a video on that. Actually, you can listen to that later. But the whole process is that I realized that if I want to make a difference, if I want to lead by example, the only way I can do is learn to lead. A very important aspect for any leader, anybody, whether they are in the role or they are CEO, they have to remember this. Always learn to lead, because the position you are put, unless you are a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, you studied for the job, you're going to do that job. Otherwise, all the other jobs, management jobs, startup specialists, whatever you are coming, you are not going to do what you studied for. The completely world is different. Things are different. You are going to put your capability into something. So learn to lead is a very important aspect that's helped me in all my 5 decades of experience in various jobs. So when in this process of journey and I was doing it, and always I am thrown into situations where I do not know any background on that. Whether I became a management accountant in Middle East, I was teaching people, I was writing an accounting manual, or I'm teaching the local people who don't know English, and I'm teaching them in English about how to automate the bank, or I'm coming to the India and talking to the Reserve Bank or different thing, representing Department of Electronics to the international world, taking the bankers for so many things I've done in my life. So that is not about me. So the learn to lead is a very important aspect. So I was in Citycorp. Now Citycorp had in India, of course, when they have subsidiary, and they have a software unit, and we had 300 employees at that time when I joined. And I was joining them as head of sales, but setting up into marketing. That was my forte. But after a couple of years, I was moved to, because they keep rotating people into every 2 years into different roles. From a profit center, I went to a cost center. I was given responsibility for training. They were looking for a dean for the training institute. And they were looking from IIT deans and everything, because these are all top organizations and they have only IITs and IIMs only can join Citycorp. And then they are looking for this kind of people to be a dean. And I was given this role. I have no idea. First of all, I have to teach the class. And my mandate was they want to increase productivity by 20% of the people who have no idea because I'm not a technical person. And on top of it, I had a challenge also to make the productivity increases. And they said, we want people to join in 3 weeks. They should be able to go to the clients and be able to be billable. I mean, you're talking about from zero to $150 per hour I'm talking about 1988, 1989, 1990, 1990, $150 a lot of money per hour. Even today it is, but that is a lot of money. But now this whole thing is now, how am I going to make all these things? So I went to my boss, I told him, hey, look, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do a survey to see where we are and where we want to go. And I will not take an increment till I achieve my, whatever my goal. He said, you're out of your mind because today you're doing a survey with 300 people. But when you do a survey 1 year down the line, there'll be 1,000 employees and those people do not know you and they will not. I said, I'm not worried. I know my process because I learned to lead. I studied and put the one because my class is full of IITs and IIMs and PhDs. So I learned, I decided I will do change management program. I used to use a method of teaching by inquiry. I'll go to the class. I'll ask each person what they need, what they want. And my job is to make this brilliant people, brilliant minds who are introverts, but brilliant mind to extroverts so they can go and meet a customer. So how did I do? Learn to lead. My learn to lead process only worked because my thing was I have to make a difference. So I have to show that I am the leader. I have to show that I can perform. I have to also show that I have the knowledge. So I used to read every day because these people are all IIT and IIM top people. They have very active mind. They'll ask me so many questions. I don't know the answers. So I used to read more and do it. So even when you are in situations like that, just because you become a CEO of a company, you can't say, hey, I'm going to go on a holiday every day and I'm going to only work 2 hours and my people will lose the job. No, you have to be with the people. You have to learn. You have to learn to lead. This is a very important aspect. So the learn to lead principle worked for me every aspect of my life. Even when I left Citicorp and I came to the US and I was working for a company and then I was going to everything, learn to lead was a big thing which helped me in a long, long process.